Hi everyone. I just wanted to take you on a little tour of the eClass page for our course and talk to you a little bit about some of the things that may be slightly different on the page than in some of your other courses, maybe the same, I don't know, but just so that I'm sure that everyone knows where to find everything. And of course, if you have any questions further to this, then you're more than welcome to ask them. So let's get started right at the very top, which is getting started. So it is a handy list of tabs that is going to give you some good information about the overall course. So first of all, a welcome from me that talks a little bit about what you can expect and what I will expect from the course, and some of the things that might be helpful to you. The syllabus and key dates are here, and here you can run off a copy of the syllabus in color or black and white, or you can also run off a list of the key dates, which tell you when modules start and end, when assignments are due, and that sort of thing, as an important part of kind of keeping on top of everything in the course. One of the ways you could do that, of course, is to run it off and just use it that way. Another is to put those dates into your calendar, whatever kind of calendar that you use, so that you can keep on top of it just like you do all of your other items in your busy lives. Then we have the master list of required readings and videos, and so here we have them all listed by alphabetically, and these will also be handy to you when you want to use any of these readings for in the forum or in any of the assignments that you hand in, because they will be listed in their correct, other than the time. You don't necessarily need to have that, I believe, but you can just cut and paste that information and put it in your set of references, and it'll be correct. So that's one way to ensure that you're following the APA 7th edition. We also have some information about accessing articles if in the databases, and so you can, if you're looking up something else, this will give you some information. Discussion forum guidelines, so the general information about the discussion forum and what you need to be aware of when you are participating in the forum. And then how to contact your instructor, which is me, and you can do that most effectively through email, because I do check my email frequently and try to respond within a very timely manner, so that you aren't waiting for a response to something before you can get going with an assignment or something like that. So I really do try to stay on top of the email, and that's usually the best way to get in touch with me. All right, let's go back to the page and just see how things are organized. After getting started, you'll find a video that lets me tell you a little bit about myself, and some of my research interests, my academic and other kinds of professional interests, and a little bit about myself personally as well. And then and you may have already watched that before you even watched this video, but just so you know that it's there. And then underneath that will be a forum called Getting to Know Each Other. So first of all, I've listed 10 things about me. Some of them I've actually already talked about in the video, but a lot of them are other things that I haven't talked about at all, that are a little more personal or whatever. And then you can share 10 things about yourself with the rest of us. Now, many of you will already know each other from other courses, but I don't know most of you. And so this gives me an opportunity to get to know you in a slightly different way before we get heavily into the academic part of the course. And I always find this a kind of helpful and more personal way to get to know my students. And then there's a video eClass overview, which is what you're watching already. It says hidden from students here because I'm making some changes to the one that was there already. But that's what it will say on the course outline. And you'll be able to just, as you watch, of course, you'll be finding out more about the course outline, or about the eClass page rather. Okay, the news section is one that I tend not to use very often. I tend to get in touch with the class through email, either in group emails or in individual emails. So I don't use this very often. So if you're used to using this and you think I'm not responding to you, I generally have a lot of interaction with the students, either by email or, if they prefer, and we have a question that takes a little more time, by other means like Skype and that sort of thing. So, so it's not that I'm not communicating with students. It's just that I find it's easier and kind of more immediate if I do it in another way. You will submit your assignments here under this section, and the only thing that will be different will be the forum, because in the forum, of course, you've already participated down in the module where it says forum, and you done your interactions with the other students and so on. So it seems silly to cut and paste that whole thing into this forum participation. But I use this because it opens up eClass for submitting your marks, submitting comments, and that sort of thing, so that you have then a record of all our interactions by through eClass for the responses that I give you to your assignments, including the forum, your mark, etc., etc. So all of that will be here. But other assignments, like writing a statement of the research problem, that will be something that you will actually submit right in the submit your assignments, like you would any other assignment that you've done in other classes. So just to let you know about the forum, it will act slightly different than the other assignments, and I'll talk more about that in the videos, etc., for each of the modules. And so you have all of your assignments listed here. At a glance, the key dates. Here's what you will find in the key dates up above. And again, these dates I hope will be entered somewhere where you're going to be seeing them often and reminded of them often, and so that you can prepare and be on top of assignments as they arrive, because the course does tend to be pretty fast moving once we, especially once we get into February and on. I recognize, however, that we're in unusual times. We are in a time that none of us have experienced before, and we have now experienced for several months, and it's wearing. It has effects, both physical and emotional, and professional and personal. And so if you find yourself in a situation where things are going a little too fast, and you have other things that are competing, and you need a little bit of discussion, modification, that sort of thing, please get in touch with me, and please get in touch with me sooner rather than later, so that we can discuss how you can stay on top of things through a slightly altered schedule or whatever, and so that you can complete the course successfully despite all of these other competing demands of both our professional and personal lives due to the circumstances around COVID. And then each of the modules, there are 6 of them, are going to be organized in much the same way. So we have in Module 1, we have the tab bar again, this time more specific to the module. So instructor notes that are specific to the module, the required readings and videos that are specific to the module, the discussion forum that will give you the information about what you're going to be doing in that forum, and then any supplementary or optional resources will be listed here as well. If there's something that will be helpful to you but doesn't necessarily have to be looked at right away, you can save that up if you want to, or look at it another time, or you don't have to look at it at all if you choose not to. But it's there if you want some supplementary resources. And each of the modules is organized in exactly the same way. So you can just find things. Sometimes there's extra information. So for example, I've got some information here that is helpful in helping you write the synthesis that is one of the assignments, for example, and so on. So we've gotten down now to Module 6. You'll notice I'm doing this well before Christmas. And by the time you see the course outline, most of these hidden from students will be gone. I'm making some changes in some of the videos, and so I'm hoping that everything will be done by the time this course is open, and that will not be there, and you'll be able to open it right up easily. Okay. So down at the bottom, then, we have research methodology videos, which is going to be important for one of the assignments, and will also be a resource for you to go into, and you've got all kinds of different approaches to research. So if we mention something and you think, oh, that sounds interesting, then you're going to be able to watch a video of somebody who does that kind of research. And so we've got action research, actor network theory, arts-based research, case study, feminist research, grounded theory, metasage, which is something that you'll become familiar with earlier in the course, mixed methods, phenomenology, and quantitative research. So these are all videos that may be helpful to you aside from the actual assignment itself. Oops, sorry. Let's get back to where we were. And then at the very bottom, we've got course resources. So you've got the course outline, which you can copy off if you want. That's extra information. APA overview and word formatting features. So this gives you some information that will be helpful to you. And I noticed that it says 6th edition. That's going to have to be changed because we're using now the 7th edition of APA. So I'm glad I saw that. That'll be changed by the time you see this as well. At the top over here are library resources that are good ones to get familiar with, particularly the citation guides, which are going to be very helpful to you. If you don't already have the citation guide itself, then you're going to be able to get lots of information from this. And any extra information, you're going to have to go to the library, I guess, or find it online to get the more esoteric kinds of things that you need to make citations for. Often, though, I find that students just using the citation guides from the library are able to successfully navigate all of the APA citation and reference demands. All right, so I think that's everything that you need to have had a look at. I hope that this has been helpful to you. And if you have any further questions or I've raised questions for you, just get in touch with me using my email address, and I'll be sure to get back in touch with you. Thanks for watching. And again, can't wait to meet all of you. And I want to wish you success in the course.